Welcome to Monday Munch. We started an hour late or on time, depending on how you look at it.
Happy Monday, everybody.
We started when we scheduled to start an hour ago.
Right. But like it's still like technically we started when we used to originally start.
I think we should just always start at the same time.
You know what? Who needs consistency? You know?
I do.
You're with me. There's no way you need consistency in your life.
I know. That's why I need it any way I can get it.
Oh, goodness. So tonight we are waiting on one more, but they'll be here later.
And if anybody else wants to join us that's viewing, you guys are always welcome to. The invite stands open.
What's she saying? You're welcome to join if you'd like, if you have something to contribute. I've been too nice lately. My niceness is like used up for the year. Hi, Chamberlain. But
Hi,
if
Chamberlain.
you have, we ask that if you do join the panelists because you have something to contribute. With the exception of like the 5 you always see up here. If we don't have anything to contribute, we can sit here. But overall, we like people
to think we always have something to contribute, Mister.
For the most part, I would say.
Even if it is just dragon nonsense.
So tonight, and I think Dream is avoiding the conversation because it's another polyamorous conversation. Now, what people don't see now on YouTube and Facebook is we've had these conversations before on Twitter. We've had these conversations before on Fanbase and on Clappers. And now we're trying to essentially cycle back through a lot of the major topics we had hit that didn't get to be seen by anybody that, still aren't seen by anybody, but could be seen by more people. So, yeah. So I am Mr. I'm in charge of the shenanigans here. I try to shenanan as much as I can. So
You also try to be in charge.
Well, do or do not. There is no try. Most of the time, I do not. It's like trying to grab a bunch of worms with oiled up hands. Just let shit go. Nothing I can do about it.
Are you calling us worms, mister?
Yes. Because worms are amazing. Okay, fine. It's like trying to wrangle possums. Speaking of, I saved a possum's life tonight. I didn't run over it going 50 miles an hour. I slowed down. Peeped the horn at it. Thought about getting him out, but he was too fat. Like I was like, he is not going to be happy in the back seat. So I'm going to roll past that.
So I'm Juniper Jen.
I thought the end of that was going to be, I didn't run over him at 50 miles per hour. I slowed down and hit him at like 30 or something.
No. No, it wasn't a cat or anything. It was a possum.
Ouch! Okay.
Anyway, sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
Hi, Miss Jen.
I will have to remember that next time, though. Next time. No mouth to mouth needed, Chamberlain. No mouth. It was just I saw him walk in. He gave me time to see him, so I slowed down and was like, all right, get the fuck out of the way. So I'm Mr. Hi. Hopefully you all know me because you're either here through my page or word of mouth or something. You should know me. Up next, lovely Juniper Jen.
Isn't that arrogant of you? You should just fucking know me.
Oh. That's right.
Well, hey, hi, hello, I am Juniper Jen, and if you don't know me, that's okay. We can get to know each other and learn together about all of the crazy and wild things on this side of the planet. And that side, if you want to teach me, because I'm not on that side. It was a good intro. I like that. Good enough. I'm happy.
Fun fact of the day, did you guys know that in Australia, they see the moon upside down? And that's not even like a joke about them being like upside down or whatever. No, like legitimately their angle of the moon. I saw a picture from somebody doing astronomy, like pictures of the moon and all that stuff. Took pictures of the moon they see. And on the same night, they had another picture uploaded from a friend of theirs in the northern hemisphere of the same thing. And there's a certain spot on the moon that is in a different position.
Yeah.
So Yes, but it's not just Australia. The entire southern hemisphere sees it upside down to the way that.
Well, we just count Australia. That's the whole southern hemisphere.
Isn't the man gonna be dizzy?
No, he's sleeping. That's how he sleeps, like a bat. Everything in Australia is upside down.
That is pretty cool. Neat. Carry
I
on
love
with
that.
introductions.
That's the
y'all.
look I live for right there. That how can somebody say something so stupid publicly? You're learning. You are. You're just like, fuck, he sure does all the time, doesn't he?
If I tried to respond to every inane thing you said, we'd never get to the topic.
Pretty much. It's
So,
difficult being my friend.
Moving on with introductions. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm one of the worms.
I'm hosting from Australia tonight, guys.
Dear God, Mister.
This is one of our possum worms. Right.
I am. You made me forget who I am, damn it.
Oh,
I'm a parent that says crap about raising kids there.
I got you. Let me give you give you a layup.
Thanks.
She
Uh,
talks
Yes.
shit for kids, and she talks shit to her kids sometimes. It's fun to watch. It really is. Like, it's great. It makes my day. Kid comes in mouthy, and she's like, she's a fantastic parent, though. I love seeing Ray interact with her kids.
Thank you.
Especially anytime we go live and they're still up for whatever reason because they're night creatures like Mom. So
not like Mom. Mom is not a night creature. I am
Well.
not a night owl or an early bird anymore. I am a drunk pigeon.
You know what? I am starting to become a day person, and I'm not a fan of it. Let me just say, I have to get up early for work right now for these next 2 weeks, and it's bullshit, to be honest with you. I should be going to sleep when I'm getting up, and it's not okay with my body.
But yes, most of what I bring to lunch is about advocating for youth and teaching the next generation how to be better than the generation before, more accepting, more loving, more authentically themselves.
And if you happen to be in, an older generation, you can still listen and learn.
Oh, for sure. That's one thing I like about all of us is we all teach each other something, even if it's stupid shit like I say. But you learn something usually.
I honestly didn't know the moon was upside down in the southern hemisphere, not just
It's
Alabama.
specific to Alabama. Like everything's backwards in Alabama. Okay.
You almost had it.
It's the place that Arnold Schwarzenegger's from, Australia.
Isn't he Austrian?
Yeah, close enough.
Mister!
It's just a
All
couple
right,
letters.
All right, Allie.
All right. Hi, I'm Alice. I run a Facebook shitposting page and am director for a trans advocacy nonprofit in West Virginia. And if any of you have been paying attention to the news from West Virginia, you know how much of a tragedy that is.
Yep, I was gonna actually ask you a little bit more about that if you want to explain that, because I saw the headline, was like, "Wait, West Virginia? That's oh shit, Alice is from there," and then definitely want to talk to you about that. I'll let you
What's
speak
going
your
on?
piece.
So there are 3 bills currently on the floor for our state government. Our state Senate Bill 252, which would add any transgender or transvestite display or exposure to the legal definition of obscene materials.
Oh,
Making it a felony to be trans within 250 feet of a school or anywhere in front of a child. The second one is Senate Bill 278, which adds that obscene material definition to the list of categories for indecent exposure, which would just criminalize being trans anywhere in the state, period. And then our House Bill 2007 is like everything that isn't just hormones for transitioning, so like surgery, any kind of like the physical training that goes into it, And anything like that is criminalized and like retroactively. So if you've had one of those surgeries in the past, before the bill was passed, it's still a crime.
Wow.
So now, I know there's tons of steps that have to be taken for a bill to be passed, but thanks Schoolhouse Rock for teaching us that. But
All
realistically,
all of the bills are currently at 25% of the way through their process.
realistically, what kind of a percentage do you see as any of those passing?
I don't know that you understand how transphobic our Senate is. It's deep MAGA red.
It's a sad thing.
I don't see any of them failing to pass. And the legislative session ends on their last day to vote is March 10th. So they would have to pass them before March 10th.
Well, hopefully something happens and everybody stays homesick for the next 2 months. So, not calling for another COVID thing, but just the Senate.
Just the Senate would be fine.
Right. Well, you're
for
welcome
legal
in the more
reasons,
free states.
That does.
For legal reasons, we're not advocating any action against the West Virginia state
No,
government.
hell no. No, leave government people alone. Just, thoughts and
Do
prayers,
your
right?
part and vote.
That specifically.
It makes me worry about other states too, though, because I mean, let's be real. Florida is a here hold my beer state. Any other state that does something like that, Florida has to top it. And then
Exactly.
Texas is a here hold my whiskey.
That's really scary.
Yeah,
So
it's like in. Go ahead.
So like these bills are the most aggressive trans criminalization bills in the country that have been proposed so far. So if they pass, literally any red state can go, oh, well, just look at West Virginia. They're doing it over there. And then basically immediately pass their own bills.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to any of the better states.
If they do pass, I have an exit already in place.
Oh, good. Because that sucks. Like it really does. It's stupid that can be done.
Yeah.
I mean, just being real, we've talked about it before. There are some states where it is a perfectly acceptable defense in a murder case. Trans panic. It's bullshit, but it's reality.
Yeah, I can't wait for, unfortunately, it's going to be 30, 40, 50 years down the road. But it's going to be, do you remember how stupid everybody was back in, the 2000s about this and that? And
so these aren't like new hateful laws. These are laws that already existed before. Like in the 60s, I think up into the 80s here in West Virginia, you could be arrested if a cop thought you were a man impersonating a woman.
I remember learning about that when
we had what were like colloquially known fuck, I'm the one struggling with the word now. Colloquially known as 3 article rules, which meant that you had to be wearing 3 articles of clothing of your like assigned gender at birth. If you weren't, the cop could just arrest you for indecent exposure.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't wear 3 articles of clothing in general.
Well,
they don't go out in public.
They also had the right to do checks. Like if they thought you were impersonating the other gender, they had the right to check what was in your pants.
We're going backwards so fast.
It's not that we're going backwards. It's that we never really moved away from that in the first place.
We never moved away from it. It's just more in the light now.
Yeah.
The internet was supposed to make us all smarter. All it did was expose how stupid we all are.
Some are taking advantage in educating and learning.
I think the people that are educating and learning are the reason why it's not in the shadows anymore. Because it's always existed. We just know about it and we're learning about it and we're learning how messed up it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking gross. Excuse my French.
Yeah, no, it's
that's
scary.
Despicable that somebody can't fucking live. Somebody that doesn't bother you.
I leave the house like twice a month, maybe 3 or 4 times in a busy month. So like to say that I'm a problem because I'm transitioning and staying inside my own house is absurd to me.
And it amazes me, and I try not to get off on political rants for sure, but the party and the people that say that the government needs to mind their own fucking business are the ones that are putting their noses in everybody's business. So I don't. It's baffling, and I hope that doesn't pass, and I hope in the next elections and the elections after that the proper and right kind of people are put in office to make progress in the world.
Well, we have to do more than hope, you guys. We have to be the change we want to see.
Don't just hope, go vote.
We cannot make any extracurricular suggestions live on air.
But they can go vote.
They can't go vote. That's not extracurricular.
And hold on. No, now look. We're going to do this real quick. If a sitting president can go tell people to do shit, I can go tell people to do shit.
I will
But I'm not telling you to go do shit. But if you do shit, you do shit.
We are not telling you to do anything, but if you would like to make changes, that is how you would do it, by going and voting.
Mm-hmm. What's that called? Where you
Civic duty.
No, like a CYA kind of thing, a cover your ass thing, where you're like, you can't do this, but if you do this, then but don't do this.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, but there's just like a specific term because it's how like Pornhub and other sites like that get away with not having like an age verification, or they have that general age verification like I have on the site. You click yes, I'm not responsible for whatever the hell you view from that point on. You've done your part of it. I can't remember the term, and I always forget it, and I'll remember it like halfway through the show, like I did last week with that guy's name.
I'm pretty sure that's actually just called a disclaimer. Like in a contract, it's a legal disclaimer.
I don't know. I really don't. I'm gonna have to figure it out. You guys carry on talking about this because it's gonna bug shit out of me.
I don't know that we have much more to say on it. Bills are dumb. Don't vote people into office who are going to try to kill trans people.
There you go. Absolutely. Take care of each other.
Human rights should apply to all humans.
No, Jennifer. I just used my whole fucking name.
Well, you sure did. It must have been a bad thought.
Things. If you guys want to say no,
we're going to leave it at research your candidates, vote for people who care about human rights, and we're going to move on.
Yes. So polyamory
is a beautiful thing.
I love polyamory. Yep. It is a very beautiful thing, a beautiful word, and it helps me and allows me to be the loving person that I want to be in life.
It's complicated and many layered and wonderful and interesting, and it's all the things.
Kind of fun to watch you stumble. You guys stumble through this while I'm fucking off over here.
Mister.
It's love, but without artificial restrictions.
It's all the things that make my brain go happy.
It is a new term for this one here. I've just recently learned this term in the last, 3-4 years. I didn't know such an amazing thing existed. And that I could ever be so happy. And the people that I surround myself with would be just as fucking happy. Because I'm happy. That's compersion. Being happy because somebody else is happy. And that's a neat word that I learned too.
Compersion is a skill that you learn and develop. the more experience you have feeling that, the more easily you feel it in the future and the more intensely you feel it.
I like that, but I feel strongly that I was like born a very I was born a compersion, compassionate kitty cat.
Compersionate.
Compersionate.
There you go.
See, that's
All
why
right.
we have
You
you
know
here
what?
to help with the words. You're the good word one.
I was going to say
Fuck it,
that's
I
why
tried
I
to
wanted
find
the
it.
glasses, but Jen's also wearing glasses.
Yes, knowledge is the key to gaining wisdom. Do you know what the difference
Absolutely.
between knowledge and wisdom is?
Oh, please enlighten me.
Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fucking fruit salad.
I know the rest of the stats from that meme too.
I like that. I like that. I don't like fruit salad as is. Mayonnaise and fruit don't go together. So
Is there
No,
mayonnaise
knowledge
in
is
fruit
just-
salad?
Knowledge is just having information. Wisdom is the application of said knowledge.
absolutely. No, wait, hold on. Back to what we were talking about. Mayonnaise is like the base in fruit salad, right?
Not all the time. I like Cool Whip and cottage cheese for mine.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
It's cottage cheese, not mayonnaise. That's fucking gross.
Okay.
Some people do use mayonnaise. Like mayonnaise and apples is a
It's a thing.
more southern. Why are we talking
Well,
about this?
If they're
Every
putting
fruit salad
mayonnaise
I've
with
had-
fruit,
Okay.
Shut up, mayonnaise in your mashed potatoes.
No,
no, that's different. It adds flavor and enhances the flavor.
fried apples dipped in mayonnaise. Try it, and then you can tell me whether or not mayonnaise.
You hush with your Oreos and mustard.
Ooh, Oreos and mustard.
Ray Oreos and mustards. You don't remember
Ray,
that
you-
much? I think that was the one
I
you guys
remember
were
that weird.
stoned on.
Yeah, no, yeah. I vaguely remember that.
I would try
Um,
it if Oreos wouldn't kill me.
Gluten-free
But
Oreos.
that's
Oh, you're
pointless.
allergic to chocolate. Never mind. Fuck.
Vanilla Oreo.
Yeah.
Not sure the mustard would taste as
I'll try the golden Oreos first with the mustard, and I'll give you the feedback.
Golden Oreos. They're plain Oreos. Okay, let's call them what they are.
No, the package says golden.
They're plain.
Ah, crap. They don't make the golden Oreos and gluten-free. I will figure this damn thing out.
I'll research it for you sometime.
I'm just gonna go to my door one day and find a package with Ray's name angrily written on the top that's just homemade, gluten-free, chocolate-free Oreos and a packet of mustard.
So Dream will be here later, but before they get here, I am going to fumble through what I'm doing. All right, I'm good at that, aren't I? The first, we kind of touched on a lot of these last week because they are in the structure of
Before we get
polyamory.
too far into polyamory, will you give us the Webster or Google definition of polyamory?
Polyamorous is having more than one relationship. Romantically. Okay, you want a legit I got you.
Yes. We're all sitting here waiting.
The practice or engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual relationships with the consent of all people involved.
Typically, doesn't have to be.
Right. That's one of those. It's
I like
the
that.
standard.
I like that consent part being included in the definition.
Oh, for sure. That's like
Mhm.
the most
There's
important
not-
thing in everything we talk about: communication and consent.
Well, polyamory without consent is just cheating.
Absolutely, by definition, you are correct. You'll find that it's called, there's different terms for it. There's consensual non-monogamy, there's ethical non-monogamy. Some people just say non-monogamous. That could also be people that cheat. So, the ethical part is where that falls to the category there. So, yeah. So we're going to talk about, I had this kind of get structured again, and hopefully a better way. that is more closed off to the more open end. So kind of like the same way we did the full relationship spectrum last time. That did not work at all because it was all over the fucking place. But so we're gonna start with polyfidelity. Okay.
Is that a bank?
Polyfidelity bank? Yes, absolutely. That's where it's one bank that shares multiple accounts.
Okay.
You have to be poly to bank at this bank.
Absolutely. You have to be linked to at least 4 other accounts to be a member. But polyfidelity is all. Here's the definition: is when a group of people consider themselves as equal partners and only have sexual or romantic relationships with each other. So typically, that is your structure of like a triad. Now, a triad can have more, but a triad is typically that. It's yes, ma'am.
Is that closed? Does that mean
Yes,
it's
close. It means that
closed?
there's. So if the 4 of us on here were in a relationship, that means that we're in a relationship, and there's no extras with.
Not looking.
Oh, you know what? That leads me to something else that I've structured for this right here. True or false? In a polyfidelitous group, new members can only join with the consent of all existing members.
True.
True.
It's absolutely true. Now, we'll add a caveat to that it depends on the structure of the relationship, but I'm not going to do that for everything. You know, I mean, they may say that 2 of the 3 people have to agree or whatever, but we're not going to get into the minute details. Look at that happy looking face right there next to me. Hello.
Hi, Dream.
Are you frozen?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm still
That's
trying
why-
to fix my settings over here.
You looked like so like.
You
it
got
was
frozen a really mean mug.
Yeah, and I was like,
I'm sorry, I
what did
was
do?
getting frustrated because my volume like died on me.
Oh, that's no fun.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Good.
I still can, like, little bit. Give me a minute.
How about now? Okay. So Dream is like I did take the liberty to add some true false stuff to keep it fun, to keep us having conversations while it being educational.
As if we have any trouble having
Right.
extra conversation.
Well, we're not trying to have too much extra. It still stays on topic. So in general,
There we
a
go.
group that's polyfidelis is closed off completely. It's that's the relationship and that's it, you know, and a lot of people will consider themselves or structure themselves with that kind of relationship to not become what they call polysaturated, where you have so many partners, you have so many extra branches to your relationship tree that it's more stress than it is love. And you've got 12 partners, you've got 3 hours a week to spend with them. What are you gonna do? You know, like. Well, that's the best answer. Dream said that. The great answer. Oh man. So yeah. So that's essentially, you know. It would be like it could be a group vote though. It could be 2 of the 3 members. It all depends on the structure of your relationship and what you've agreed upon beforehand, what you've communicated.
Technically, most of what we're going to talk about depends on the structure of your individual relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's caveat that already. So most of this is a generalized overall view of what the terms are and how it generally works, but every relationship is different.
AKA, these are the definitions that Mr. looked up on Google 10 minutes ago.
No, I know most of these definitions. This is like polyamory
this
is like
is our
one
jam.
subject. I could get up without you guys here tonight and give a whole presentation on this shit.
Bye.
Oh goodness.
Way to make us feel unnecessary, mister.
But I'm just saying, like, that's my extent of my knowledge in this subject. If you guys were like, I can't stay, I'd be like, I got you. Don't worry about it, and I can cover it all. That's probably one topic. You know, I've heard that question many times, and I asked that question in like interviews at work and stuff. If I could put you on stage and ask you to talk about a subject for 15 minutes without stopping and no preparation, what would it be? Non-monogamous relationships would probably be that for me. Alice, you look like you're thinking pretty hard down there.
I was thinking how many things I could.
What's the first one that comes to mind, though?
World of Warcraft.
There you go. See,
Yes.
I grew up playing World of Warcraft from like 9 years old to 22.
What the fuck are you doing?
she's playing with her new dragon tail.
She's playing with the dragon bits. Might not be appropriate for Facebook.
It's just
Just happy to see you, Dream.
Okay, so true or false? And a polyfid. I don't like that word.
A
Polyfidelity.
polyfidelitous.
Polyfidelitous.
Yeah, polyfidelity. See, I switched up. I've got hierarchical, and now I've got to do this bullshit. All members are expected to have sexual and romantic relationships only within the group. Generally speaking.
Generally speaking, true.
Yeah, generally true. That's
Right.
what makes it the closed part.
That is the definition.
See, like these are easy. These are like, there you go. So
Dream really is not going to participate.
I feel closed out by these definitions
why do you feel closed out?
because it says sexual and romantic relationships.
It should say and or.
It should say and or. That is correct.
Or
It's and slash or.
We don't need that.
You
We don't need the slash.
Ander.
It says Andor. It says Andor now.
Okay.
I swear, you should name one of your Warcraft characters Andor now.
There you go, Andor.
Yo, I swear, you know, back in school when they were teaching, like the plus minus whatever, like PEMDAS, I swear to God, I named one of my Warcraft people that.
PEMDAS. Okay, just now that we've got Dream here, I can kind of give you guys an idea of what we're going to be talking about tonight and how many things we're going to be discussing. Because Dream was like, holy shit, there's probably a lot. And you have no idea. There's so much we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. I think
God,
you
I'm gonna
can.
cry.
Dream big.
This is almost as bad as the group chat.
Totally kidding. We're not going to be covering all that. I'm going to pop that up here shortly. As a matter of fact, we can discuss that real quick before we move to the
Yeah,
next
you,
one. So
you
this right
said
here,
we weren't gonna do this.
this right here. So if you guys want to pull this up, so when we say non-monogamy is some crazy ass spectrum, it is a crazy ass spectrum because it's all within this little realm right here.
Kind of looks like floor plans to a house I want.
It almost does. Now the only thing I don't, I do see cheating on there too. Yeah, so you guys can't see the tiny writing. I did send it to the group chat. I didn't send this one because I wanted to make you just panic for that quick moment. To be like, holy fuck, are we really going to cover all that? And it worked.
Why not? You brought us all here. Let's do it.
Right? I mean, we could. It's really not as much as you'd think. There's only like 15
There's
things
only like
there.
200 different.
You know what? 1,
definitions
2, 3.
You're making
3,
it sound
4,
like
5,
Munch is
6, 7, 8, 9,
non-consensual.
10, 11, 12, 13,
You
14,
think?
15, 16, 17, 18. So there are 18 right here. I probably miscounted, but there are at least 18 that I got correct. That's the general spectrum. Now, we did discuss something privately earlier, but there's a whole like genuine spectrum. It's not nearly the same, but there are an infinite number of possibilities when it comes to non-monogamy. I'll word it that way. Let me be proper and compassionate.
Gold star, mister.
But the next one we're going to talk about is boom. Does anyone know what hierarchical polyamory is?
A word
Bullshit.
that's difficult for you to say.
Not this week. I practiced.
That's like where You have like your main relationship and then your secondary and tertiary relationships.
Mhm.
Hmm. Pretty
And
much.
if that's your relationship style, it's perfectly acceptable for the way you guys are.
And
If
that's
everyone
the
talks about it and like makes clear that like the levels are known beforehand.
Yes.
So
The
some of
only
Yes.
way I would want to do something like this is if we set it up like they would in a card game. Like, here's the king, here's the queen, here's the jack.
and that's kind of like it's the same concept, just a little more one-on-one there. So I do have. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
would be the ace.
I would be the deuce. I'm wild.
The card thing reminded me of what I would think of for hierarchical polyamory would be similar to like a king and a queen would be the main relationship, but then his concubines would be secondary.
Absolutely, and I play Crusader King, so I love gotta have plenty of concubines. It's the closest you can get to being poly on there. So the definition, and I've written these to like be like you can explain it to somebody if you're just without doing the. If you guys want, I'll give you like the real definition too of what Google and everybody else says. So with that, it says that this type of polyamory includes having a primary partner and secondary partners. The primary partner is usually considered more important or central than the secondary partners. I know that rubs people the wrong way when I put it that way, but I think it lays it out to be able to be interpreted by others that are outside, because they're looking at it with a negative mindset anyway. So explaining that the relationship structures are different and all this stuff is just, there you go. It's your more central relationship, and then there's others. Yes, Alice.
It is possible to have more than one primary partner.
Absolutely, you could have a closed triad that has secondary relationships off of it. Yeah. So Google doesn't even have like a real definition. It pulls it from some other site. It says hierarchical polyamory is a fancy way of saying that one relationship ranks higher in importance than the other relationships in the polycule, and certain partners will rank higher than other partners in the polycule. For the most part, with the exception of like relationship anarchy and solo polyamory, I think most relationships, whether they want to be egalitarian or not, egalitarian means equal, still have a structure of a hierarchy in general. It's like I said last week, if I've been with you for 5 years, the person I've been with for 5 months, while important, would still probably not have as much pull in certain situations as my 5-year partner would.
For you.
4 years.
For you.
6 years. For me. You're right, for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for
And-
adding
and-
that, because
But,
some
even-
people aren't like that.
Right. Well, even like with Jen and I, a new relationship would still not have the importance to me as it does as my relationship with Jen does, simply because we've lived together, we share a lot of things together, we've been through a lot of things together, and this new person still has to earn that spot to be on the same level. Doesn't take the same amount of time, but it takes the same amount of effort. You got to get through the honeymoon phase first.
Oh God.
I hate that phrase so much.
Me too.
The honeymoon phase.
But did you guys know that your brain is producing chemicals that are literally just like stupid drugs that make you not
It must be
really
producing
see
those all
people
the time for me.
for who they are? So, oh, really? Is that how that works?
No, it was just a joke at my own expense.
Oh, okay.
Saying
Damn
my
you.
brain, saying
Thought
my
I was
brain
gonna
was
learn another
producing-
cool thing. The honeymoon phase. I was listening to another podcast today. I know y'all hate when I say that, but the Call Me Daddy podcast today, she was talking about the chemicals that are produced when you are starting and forming new relationships. And this can be friendships, relationships. You're not seeing the person through clear eyes. I thought it was crazy, but it's apparently a
Because
fucking
they
thing.
lie to you in the beginning.
So
Right?
I don't experience that.
You don't get NRE?
No, but I tend to vet people before I start their relationship, so it's not like
Excuse me? You get NRE, but it's just about everything all of the time, nonstop, completely.
Well, if it's
No.
all that way all the time, then it would be NRE. It'd just be a level of excitement they maintain.
exactly. And that's where I was
Like a
going
puppy.
with that dream. A little bit.
Like a puppy. Oh no. No.
I
no,
can-
no.
I can slightly relate to that. Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
I just had to say head pets because there was a puppy mentioned. I'm sorry.
Mm, mm.
What was I gonna say?
So the honeymoon phase, we all agree, is a shitty term, but that's what people tend to call it. When you get into the non-monogamous lifestyle and the polyamorous relationships and stuff, NRE is what you hear it referred to as the most. That's new relationship energy. That's where you get a new partner. And Jen went through this when I met Bess. It was I was constantly talking. We were trying to go out all the time. We were spending extra time together. It's what a lot of people do when they get a new relationship. They want to devote a lot of time to it and get to know that person and bring them up to speed into their life and
You're
all
all
that as
excited
fast
and
as they possibly
happy.
can.
I actually fucking loved seeing it. Like, just excited and just, it's fun.
It really does bring a different side out in a lot of people. Now I know, Alice says they feel that way like all the time about everything, and that's perfectly wonderful too. But it's like that for anybody that's not polyamorous or non-monogamous. It's like getting a new car or a new video game or a new appliance or something new to enjoy. Not to saying your partners are toys by any means, but it's that level of excitement of newness. You want to figure it out, how it works. Like when we were kids riding in the back seat, reading the booklet of a game we just got at Walmart on the way home. You wanted to learn all about it as much as you could, got home and played it for like 5 days straight and then put it back and you haven't played it since.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
think about that game right now.
Gigapets. Did you
I
fucking
just
feed
had
them?
the terrible idea. So
Where's your fucking Furby?
What me and Soup were doing a couple minutes ago was we went out and buy clothes from Burlington and we were returning, and I'm like, that gives you all the fun of shopping and none of the commitment. Can I have that for relationships?
It's called sleeping around. Well, you're ace though.
No.
What would that be? Just dating? All the fun, none of the commitment?
Fuck if I know. We need to talk about that one day. Like, what does dating mean?
Okay. Speaking of, we've got quite a few people here watching. Next month, the whole month of February, we're gonna have a BDSM and kink theme for the month. That's kind of what we're trying to start structuring now, is a theme for the month, so we can get as much education, just in case we miss something on a topic, we can still cover it. So next week or next month is going to be BDSM and kink. I think this a good transition. Maybe next week you guys want to do like a vanilla to kinky or vanilla to kinky extreme spectrum, because we're still kind of on a spectrum deal.
Yeah.
Can we all
Good
get vanilla
segue.
ice cream?
Fuck yeah, I'll do vanilla ice cream.
And then we
Vanilla ice
could,
cream sounds amazing.
idea.
What's your brand?
We could all get vanilla ice cream, and then as we talk about different kinks at different toppings.
like caramel lube.
Yeah, you still have to do that when we hit 1,000 people. You have
1,000
to.
people
On
haven't
YouTube.
followed my YouTube yet.
No, but we're got a couple more people.
We
Hi,
have,
people.
and I'm grateful for all these people that show
Hi,
up.
everybody.
For real.
Mr. won't tell us who's here, but
I don't see. I see that we have 1 from my page and 2 from YouTube.
hi, everybody.
That's all the details it gives me. And we were liked by David Marshall on Facebook. So whoever that is, appreciate the like.
I've been trying to, like, instead of just broad spectrum advertising like I used to do, I've been trying to plant the seeds in the fertile soil and tell people that I think would be interested in the things we talk about us.
Speaking of, I do want some emails from you guys to review some shit I've written. I started writing a 30-day challenge. I've been doing it for like a week and a half now to write it. About success, like things you can do to build that up, and it's momentum, more or less momentum, rather than achieving like your goal in 30 days. It's building that foundation to carry on and to push it forward, stuff like that. So I want to send that to you guys. It's like 30 pages long.
Mr. Blabbing?
Yo, you're wearing the shirt I got you.
Yeah, I already did the thing and did this and shook it all around. I'll hold still.
Says I like my coffee like I like myself. Too hot for you.
I love
But
your
my
whole
coffee's
vibe right now.
just right.
So we are going to push two things together real quick. It's triads and quads. The concept is the same. The number is the only difference. A triad, tri means three, is a relationship where three or more people, between three people where all three of them are involved romantically. Hold on. And or sexually with each other. So you just think of a triad as a triangle, okay? All three sides of the triangle touch. So all three
like
partners.
That's like the relationship that I was in where I was the unicorn. Like we were all dating each other. It wasn't like just me and him, or just me and her, or just her and him. It was just all of us.
Mm-hmm. So while we're here, we'll actually condense three together at one time, and that's going to be triads, quads, and V's. Okay, so we're going to pop this up real quick, let you guys get a good look at it. That right there kind of gives you an idea of what that is. So a dyad is a two-person relationship. Doesn't necessarily need to be monogamous. You can be just two people in a relationship and still be polyamorous or non-monogamous, as Jen and I are. Triad, you see where all three sides touch. Quad is where all four sides touch. Now, I don't remember the term, or if there's a different term for where, there's an X in the middle, where George in this situation, so George and John are a relationship, and then Jane and Anne are in a relationship together. It's like an X right across the middle of it where everybody's involved with each other. And then you have a V. V's have something called a hinge. And the hinge is like a door hinge. You've got one side that sticks to one part of the wall, one side that sticks to the door, and then you go through it, and that one person, just the two on the outside. So in this situation, George and Jane wouldn't be connected in that aspect. They tend to not have any kind of relationship as far as romantically and or sexually. So that's what you're looking at with that. And if you need a better explanation, V's are when one person romantically. God, you're gonna make me go through and edit all this shit, aren't you?
V.
Hail Andor.
Hail Andor.
Or
Hail Andor.
voluptuous.
This is when one person is romantically and or sexually involved with two partners, but those two partners are not romantically and or sexually involved with each other. And that one is actually wrong now that I've edited it. It should say romantically or sexually involved with each other. So that one would be a complete or and no and. So you can't be either. If you're either, then that makes you a triad. And yeah, see, all this shit just gets complicated if you get too far into it.
Which is exactly what we said we weren't going to do.
Well, we're not diving too deep. I'm trying to keep it
what
on the
we're
surface.
doing. Hold on.
Have you ever known us to follow what we're saying we're going to do?
Somebody get me
Yes.
some floaties because I'm drowning.
I just saw that in the chat there. My bad. I love it. I love it. Whoops. We'll find out in a little bit, right? Oh shit. As always, this requires just as much communication. Any of those require just as much communication.
No, but your thighs look nice. No worries.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
so
So
glad I
you were gonna
wasn't the
watch.
only one who was.
It's okay. You're safe.
And I missed it completely because I was pulling that up, and then I took that down. I was looking over here at the banners to see what's next, and yeah.
I think your body's beautiful.
I think her face
I
is
know, I
as
had
red as that
resting
curtain behind Dream now, though.
Bitch face on. I was like, and then I saw
Oh,
her
goodness.
beautiful thighs. I was like, oh, hi.
That's right. Nothing obscene, folks. We don't do obscenities on here. That's on fan base, which we need to have a fan base party for
Here, come
months
here.
again one
I saw
night.
every. There is no kitty.
So
Humans
before
right
we
there?
get into these other types of actual like more polyamorous things, let's get into
There's
one of Jen's favorites. And
there's
my favorite as well. But there's what? Go ahead.
there's chicken crossing the road. Why?
What?
No, there's so many really neat
Hi, Mira.
new terms that have been like coined and talked about in the last few years. So a lot of this stuff you guys probably have never heard of. I mean, but I feel like some people may have never even heard of polyamory. So
Polyamory is still a relatively new term as far as
here's
like
some
mainstream.
stuff.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a term coined in the 90s. The actual definition of polyamory.
94.
Conversation.
What?
We had this conversation last time. It's 94.
Right, but you know, we dropped those bits of knowledge in to remind folks and give a little
Breadcrumbs.
education. Yeah, breadcrumbs, because you know, who knows? That might be a question on trivia night one night from somebody like win some money for that. So yeah,
Can we have
we
trivia
should have
on
a
lunch
trivia
one night?
night. Absolutely, we should have a munch trivia night. I'm down.
Okay, my favorite term is the designer relationships. 'Cause
Now, since it's your favorite, can you tell me what it means?
Is it like one of those little dogs that people get for like $30,000?
no, I was
Close.
thinking it's more like I can wear my Gucci on.
But we call those escorts
Did I do
in
good?
a relationship sense.
What?
If it costs $30,000, it's probably an escort, not a relationship.
Well,
I wish I
So-
got paid that much when I was an escort.
I know, right? That's all I'd be. I'd just be an escort all the time. I've thought about stripping, but I don't have the body for it. So we're just gonna carry on. So Jen, give us your best definition, and then I'll give you the one that I have right here.
well, it's kind of like anything that you can design. You know what a design is. You know, like a design. So you make it yourself. It can be whatever the fuck you design it to fucking be.
Okay. So
You draw
One
the
good-
lines for the picture and
one
you
good
color
way
it in any way you want to do it.
one good way to describe that is going to be it's a more structured version of relationship anarchy. It's where each relationship it's when the individuals design and create their own relationship structures and agreements, often with the goal of meeting specific emotional or practical needs. So that's where you can also jump up with this thing right here. The smorgasbord. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this or even used it. It seems like it wouldn't be practical to use, but it would be fun to actually sit down with your partners and fill this out so you can understand where you stand on everything. It goes with relationship anarchy, but like I said, it adds more structure to the relationship. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but it talks about like religious, spiritual, shared prayer, your terms and labels, your power exchange, your partnership, your public displays of affection, like what you're willing to do. And the reason they say it's more of a relationship anarchy thing is because you can do this with your friends. You can do this with anybody that you associate with. It has a place on here for your boss and employee, and it just sets expectations and boundaries for that specific relationship. As with designer relationships, it's basically saying, so with Jen and I, we could say, we want to have one more partner each, and then maybe make a triad out of those two partners, stuff like that. Like, it's picking and choosing, and it's a Build-A-Bear for relationships. It's a relationship Build-A-Bear.
We came back from the smorgasbord to Jen doing this.
I love it.
Playing with her bits again.
Okay,
Little
but,
dragon
like,
tails.
I want to create a Build-A-Bear where you just pick up like little pieces of relationships and have it like be a dating game now. Have you
I
ever
That would
seen
be
those
fun.
welcome
fucking
to my life. You've
Have
been
you
in
ever
it for a
seen-
while.
those fucking Korean dating shows? They are the best thing ever.
I have not.
They'll like sit there and they'll have like a multiple choice, like match the underwear to the guy.
Oh, I have seen some of those.
Here's one personal item of his, and it'll be like a sock or something.
I
All
have.
I'd have to do is smell your sock. I'd know it was yours,
Do
mister.
you guys remember the show on MTV, Room Raiders?
Ah,
That was the closest we had to that concept, was where these girls would raid 3 different guys' room for their friend, and then she would pick the guy based on the room. So, do you guys think that requires less communication than any other form of polyamory?
Less communication.
I mean, if they're only communicating by like the rooms, then there is less. But I don't know. I'd say that's a requirement.
What are they doing? Speaking telepathically? Goddamn.
I'm confused. I won't lie.
I'm also a little confused.
I didn't transition that very well. Do you think designer relationships are like, do they take less communication than your other
But
forms
if
of
you gotta
polyamory?
go out and you gotta be like, okay, here's my boundary here. This is what I want over here. Can we do this over here? How is that over there? What's the feng shui in this building like? Yeah, no, you need communication for that shit.
Absolutely.
But it just sounds to me like the level of communication that should exist in any relationship.
Right.
See,
Yes.
it's a softball answer every time. That question, none of these require any less communication than the other. Except for don't ask, don't tell. But we're not covering that one this time. So don't ask, don't tell requires a lot less communication.
So you know what we're doing with don't ask, don't tell?
So
We're not.
Telling about
Don't
it.
ask, don't tell.
I do want to address that within the designer relationship. Within a designer relationship, if I chose to have another don't ask, don't tell relationship, and I told and communicated, those base times about it with me and Mr. the beginning relationship that I was doing this, that's legit. That's acceptable. That's part of the design.
Well, see, then that's the beauty of designer relationships is you're picking it. You can make the structure exactly how you want it to be.
Mhm.
You could be don't ask, don't tell with me, and then be kitchen table with 2 of your other partners and all this other
Mhm.
stuff. Like, there's tons of different ways to do it.
I like to do it on the
kinda
table
think,
too.
though, that the way you're putting this designer relationship does need more communication, because it sounds like one of those goddamn Scantron tests where you go through 50 questions and you you put the answers here like A, B, or C, and you go down like 80 questions, and then you get the next test, and it's 360 pages later you finally have a relationship that's stable.
But at the same
Count-
time, what's keeping you from doing that in all your relationships?
I was about to
Learning
say,
to be with people without having to, designate every single little tiny detail of their lives. You don't need to be planning your own death in the future to be in a relationship.
Right, but it
Which is
depends on your
also
relationship.
part of the design.
You do not have to go out and choose your funeral flowers and the song you want to be played before you start the relationship.
counterpoint. most of those questions are going to look like something like, I'm interested in doing this. Would that be okay by you? Or do you have a problem if I do this certain thing? Which is just how communication should work. And that doesn't necessarily have to all be up front at once. It just might have a goal in mind.
I don't want to be a dick. I really don't.
Oh, it's too late now. You've already said the statement, I don't want to be a dick. Now you have to be a dick. That's like the rules.
Do you know how many times in relationships where people are like, okay, will you go to church with me every Sunday? Like,
sure, unless there's a game on,
buddy. But if I get to know you better, then maybe I'll say, hey, I'll go with you once a month, but you know.
So what you're talking about here is communicating
go ahead, Alice.
It's compromise, and it's not done before the relationship starts.
But you're communicating changes.
Yeah, you're saying, hey, no, right now, which is a boundary, and then when you're comfortable maybe moving that boundary, you go, hey, maybe once a month.
So
I don't see how this is different from standard relationships either, by the way.
It's church code for something.
It just adds a lot more structure to it.
It is when I say it, it's not when Dream says it.
So, Jason, thanks for the segue there. Kitchen table is what I like. So let's
gold star. I like to do it on the table too.
Absolutely,
like
kitchen table is ideal for eventually what I'd love to have with Jen and future partners.
Yes.
Any idea, Dream? What do you think kitchen table polyamory is?
When you sit down at the kitchen table after you've all helped cook a nice meal and you fucking eat together.
Would you like to sit at my table?
That's quite close. So it's where all partners know each other and socialize together. It's like having a big happy family.
We have chicken Alfredo.
So when it comes to relationships like that, you get into, it's not, somebody so-and-so's coming over, can you leave? It's, hey, they'll be here in like 30 minutes. You want to have dinner and all this stuff. And you just treat it as openly as possible between all partners.
Look, it can be as open as possible, but if I'm cooking and someone doesn't come in the kitchen to help me, they ain't eating that night.
What if I wash the dishes?
Fine. As long as I don't have to do that.
What if I pay you $5? What if I pay somebody to wash the dishes?
It's still getting the dishes washed.
It's still getting dishes washed, but it's not.
But is it good enough to get dinner?
If I have to bond with your dishwasher instead of you.
You don't have to bond at all. You cooked. You get out of the kitchen. That's always been the rules I've known. I don't live by them, but it's always been the rules I've known is if you cook, you don't clean. Or you clean as you go. Neither of those do I follow.
I just do both. I cook and clean.
No.
Proper domesticated.
Why we're all different. There is 4 different types of people in this world. Or at least in this munch.
Good thing I didn't hit that add to string button all of a sudden, huh? Glad to have you back, Ray. So, do you guys think that kitchen table polyamory is always closed? Meaning that no one can be added by any...
No. It's just more communicated. The entire goal of kitchen table is everybody's on the same page, everybody's communicating, everything's out in the open. So if there were the desire to add another partner, that would just be something that would be talked about, not necessarily decided on, but talked about.
So glad to have your words back, Ray. My answer is I forget the question, but you can put a leaf in a table and stretch it out and make it bigger for more people at it.
Not a leaf, but yeah.
That's what they're called. It's called a table leaf.
And we
is
call it
very
a
possible.
table
What the fuck are you
add-on.
talking about? I have to look at you just to
So what you saying, Dream? So a lot of tables, at least like in the houses I've been to and seen, like they have like a split down the middle, and then you can like pull the table apart and add a section that goes in between to make the table longer or wider
Yes.
for more people to sit at.
And that section is called a
and
leaf.
they call it a leaf? Why the
Yes.
fuck?
Yes. Because it's
I
an
don't
old
know.
term. It's what the old people called it.
I don't know. Why do they call anything what they call it?
Why are
Is an
boobs
apple
good?
called an apple?
Okay, so let me just a 5-second rant. I sit here all day for hours thinking why words mean other words.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably spelled different though.
Oh, yeah. I get hung up
Like
on that shit.
everything that Jen says is spelled different.
No, not because she spells it different, but because it's probably actually spelled different.
What was the word she made up earlier?
Overpetulated.
What do you guys think that overpetulated means?
Too petulant.
Wrong.
As in having too many pets and being grouchy about it. No, like too many
No.
head pets, like being petted
Being petted too much.
and being grouchy about it.
The reference was the petting zoo, and she was talking about the animals there are already overpetulated. Like she just said it as smoothly as it was an existing word, and the definition of something everybody should know.
Overstimulated.
Because I
Yes.
feel a small amount of
That is
guilt
correct.
when I go to the petting zoos because I know the animals have already been overfed and overpetulated far too much by all the other like kids, and like that's the only reason that I don't feel guilty is because I'm a calm adult and I'll come up to it and I'll have a solid one-on-one conversation, and that poor little animal probably doesn't get that from anybody else. So I don't feel too bad about saving the overpetulated cow from being, or goat, or llama, or pigs, or you better mute me.
So the one that I didn't create a banner for, we're coming up on garden party polyamory. Anybody got an idea what that might be?
Absolutely fucking not.
I like that one too. I can't remember that.
It's a style of polyamory where everybody knows about each other, but you don't necessarily like share a house, share every detail, but you'd all be okay with meeting somewhere and having a gathering.
Exactly. Another term for it is birthday party polyamory. So, like, if you're having a birthday party, and although you're
say those words,
oh, you go ahead.
it means everybody can get along if you're at an outing, essentially, right?
Right. So, if we were, all in some sort of crazy polycule, but Alice never comes over to the house, but I know that, Alice is with someone that I'm with, then if they come to my birthday party, it's all good. We're going to get along just fine.
We're all
Easy
just
enough.
a bunch of hippies, man.
Far out, man. Like I said, Charles Manson without the murder. That's the goal.
Jesus.
I mean, there's a lot of other things we want to avoid that Charles Manson did.
Well, I like the community, the communion, the little ranch, free love, loving and happiness, drugs, LSD, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's not what he did.
Oh boy.
I made Alice make that face again. You missed it, Dream. So I've finally started making Alice make the face that I make people. That one right there. Where how could you say something so stupid out loud?
That's Mr. Hey,
That's
guys.
me.
I gotta say, I do like it when Alice is speechless. Whether it be in a good way or a bad way determines a lot.
So true or false on this one? Garden party polyamory involves the individuals having multiple relationships, and all partners are equally invested or committed in the relationship.
False.
That one you can't say true or false because that's not a part of the definition.
Answer, Mr. The question sucks.
What do you guys want me to read you the
Read the answer again. I'll tell you why I said false.
Okay, hold on. You ready? I'll read the definition. In this type of polyamory, individuals have a multiple concurrent relationships and or sexual relationships, but not all partners are equally invested or committed to the relationship. It's like having guests in a garden party where some may be close friends and others are simply acquaintances.
So yeah, there's my answer is why it's false.
It could be true or false, though. Like,
Mhm.
it depends on the dynamic of your garden party. Like, sometimes everybody's just as important to the central hub, but sometimes everybody's just as important to just as everybody. They just don't share all of the things.
What is it called? Is it called like a Versailles garden party where everyone gets naked and goes into fountains and shit?
It sounds like my kind of garden party,
That sounds one step removed from like an orgy.
I mean,
which
we
is
do that
even
too.
better than a garden
No.
party.
You get naked, you have tea, you run through the gardens, and it's just like a whole big deal.
What
Outside
kind
of
of
like a
tea?
big palace.
Time
wanna
out.
do this.
I do
This-
want to acknowledge
this-
what Alice just put in our chat. A Google search shows the word overpetulated in one newspaper from '63. It says, however, it means a house that has too many pets.
Well, no.
Oh, goodness. I
I
love it.
fucking love it.
Oh.
That's great.
Ah.
But seriously, though, that kind of garden party just got added to my bucket list.
The orgy con?
Apparently,
Well,
those
Can
are
I
just
dress
called
up as a
naked garden
fairy?
parties.
You can wear well. The inherent thing in the party is that everybody's naked. So I guess if you're wearing only wings,
So
I will wear only wings for my OnlyFans and you.
Hey, we should totally make a website or a restaurant called Only Wings. You know, design it to be like
call it Only Wings. Design it to be like a parody of OnlyFans or whatever. But when people come in, wings are the only thing not on the menu. So what Dream was describing is apparently just called a naked garden party. And just a quick Google on that reveals that there are also torture gardens.
Of course.
Oh.
Yep.
Now, time out though. Dream, the munch kind of thing you went to where you did the shibari and all that fun stuff. I mean, that would kind of be a garden party.
I would say that would be more of a pool party.
One of your
People wanted to
reincarnated
put me-
souls learned about that.
The
People
one that you
wanted
were in a
to
grill?
put me in the fire pit and drop me into the pool.
It
That'd
kind
be
of sounds
fun.
like they wanted to kill you.
I mean, it would be fun as long as they don't lock it.
So, do you remember where we've talked about cults and things and that you know? Just gonna say, it sounds like you may have been the sacrifice for that party. They just didn't get around to it.
oh, Jesus, Mister.
I mean, I've been in enough of them, so you know.
Oh,
Absolutely, I am totally kidding though. I do. The pictures you sent from that thing look like so much fun. Look like you had a blast.
I know.
You
I
did
wanna
fit
bring you
exactly in the
guys
fire
with
pit
me.
though.
You guys gotta come with me one day.
I'm
I mean,
down
you gotta
for
I
it.
fill
would
out
love
the
to.
paperwork to go first, but you guys gotta come
Well,
with me.
Fax us or email us the paperwork, and we can fill that out, send it back to you, and that way, if they have a munch while we're up there for the con,
which they do like the weekend before or after, but we've also got something else going on. Actually, I haven't written it down.
we have a long list of events we're going to, which will include a stop in Florida.
For what?
I will figure out how to figure out getting to wherever you guys are at some point because
We'll just
I will
come to you. It's no big deal.
Is that the one that you guys wanted to like hog tie me to the roof of your car to go to because I said I
Yeah.
don't like Florida?
You can sit in my lap.
Okay, guess I'm going.
That took a lot of convincing.
Okay, but like I can imagine it. It's gonna be great. I'll just sit on Jen's lap and hear her say, "Oh my God, baby cow!"
You guys, I'm gonna have to start recording that every time. It doesn't matter. We've gone past these cows and these goats every day for a week sometimes, and every time it's oh.
Do you not get excited at farm animals?
Oh, I think they're adorable, but it's just her reaction is just like you can't help it.
Even listening to her on the phone with no video or anything, I blushed because she's so fucking cute.
Listen, they are my friends. I say hello to them every day. I take the long way home so I can see other friends.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Jen, I get it. Progesterone's fucking with me a little bit. And like the last time I saw, like, we drove past a cow farm, there was like a baby cow getting bathed by an older cow, and I literally cried.
No.
Those damn pregnancy hormones.
Love seeing the big cows love on the little cows. But mostly my mostest favorite is when they're being frolicky. Oh
yeah, you catch that every now and then.
Run you get from time to time.
yeah.
She loves it so much she does it on my arm when she sees it. She's like, "Baby cows on the hill."
My favorite is if you see them where there's like a post with that brush material on it, and you see the cows go up to it and just start brushing themselves against the post. It's some of the cutest shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so where did Dream go?
He said he'll be right back.
Okay, I need the dates to that much. I think it's after con. So like
We'll figure that out. Get all together on that one. Very nice.
And then
Give it like a
Tampa
7 out
Pride
of 10.
before con, the week before con.
Okay, so
So,
I gotta
like-
make sure I've got all my dates put in for work and all that stuff. So
And the Tampa Pride, so
Yeah.
you guys know, is March
25th.
25th. Mhm.
Little Smurfs. Okay.
What happened?
I might have to do some juggling, but
That's okay.
So
We'll
we'll be
figure it out.
down there that weekend. Whether you make it
Even
to
if-
Pride or not, we can
Yeah,
still...
we can still come see you.
that's the week my kids are on spring break.
That's fine. Like I said, we still just come see
Mhm.
you. It don't matter. If you can't make the Pride, you can't make it.
So listen, I would really look into that because our Pride here in Charlotte, we're really off task, but like everybody disappeared, so that's okay. Short commercial break to tell you guys about what's going on in our
We'll
world.
be back
I'm
after
still
a word
here.
from these sponsors.
I'm still
Um,
here. I'm just eating.
Charlotte Pride had
I am not. That's the
really
problem. I'll be right back.
big kids zone, and they did really good with it. Like it was really awesome, and
I would think that going to a Pride event would
Charlotte
be
did too.
beneficial for my
Yes.
oldest.
Shut the hell up! I'm trying to listen. What?
I think that bringing my oldest to a Pride event would be beneficial. Would be
Mhm.
a lot of good conversation, a lot of good camaraderie for my oldest child. I do not, however, think my youngest child is emotionally mature enough to go to a Pride event.
Fair.
Mhm.
Can I interject just real quick with something completely unrelated?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did I think Mr. moved his mic angle because we don't normally see him when he's walking out? He's got a really nice ass.
Doesn't he
Yes.
though? Like, oh my gourds.
Mr. does have a very nice booty.
So there's this pair of gray pants that I've really, really, really liked on him, but like the ass has like these huge, really white lines down it, and it's because his ass is so beautifulness and perfect.
Listen, when is he gonna start bringing his shower lives before the munches back? I missed that.
Oh, right. Tell him he's gonna get his hustle back on.
I missed me some Mr. Booty.
Mm-hmm. We could
That's
eat
horrible.
sandwiches off that ass.
That is horrible. We are objectifying him. He is no longer a person at this point in the conversation. He's just a cute booty. That's horrible.
Something gives me the impression that he doesn't mind.
He doesn't mind us talking about his assets.
I thought we were his assets. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Discord server where you can see mine if you're interested in objectifying me at any point.
Right.
I might need said information.
Pay the right price, baby.
For science. Yeah, for science.
All right.
I'm sorry, what did I come back to for science?
I have a question. Can you send me the dates for that munch that's going on? I think it's after, but I don't have it written down.
I can try. I'm not exactly sure what day it is on yet.
Well, you're tasked with getting that information and then like paperwork to us too, because
I'll just email the paperwork over and you just email it back to them. Now, you didn't answer my question.
what? We were talking about Mister's butt. Right?
Yes,
For a
a
little bit.
fine specimen of ass.
Yeah.
Just like he is.
And sandwiches. We were talking about sandwiches too.
You were talking about eating sandwiches off of his ass.
Or cookies. Oh, vanilla.
Okay,
Never
now,
mind. Actually, you know what?
look, if you were gonna eat
It's cute,
Oreos,
but I don't think I want to eat off of it.
listen. If you
Kinda
were going
picky.
to eat Oreos off of Mister's ass, I would hope that you would at least stick them in there like coins in a slot machine.
Wait, what did I walk into the
Hell
conversation
no.
of?
That's exactly what I said.
We were talking about how you have a nice ass, Mister.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And
And
I
Jen
was
was
saying,
talking about eating off of it, and then mentioned cookies. And Dream said that if she's going to eat Oreos off your ass, that she needs to stick them in like it's a coin slot.
and I was saying that, Mister, I would be really appreciative if you would bring back your shower lives before the munches. I miss me some Mr. Booty.
Okay. I think I can handle that. Ah, man.
So I
So-
could eat
So hold on, I
a
gotta
girl off of your ass.
catch up with
but that's about it.
some comments here. Jason, I can drop the link to you. I didn't see it till just now. We're gonna be wrapping up in about 20-30 minutes, though.
Oh,
Amira, now are you near Tampa? I can't remember.
let's go. Tampa Pride.
And we love you too, Amira. And Jason says that he has a nice butt too.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, hold on.
So, you guys carry on.
Yeah, that's all.
You don't
We
have
caught
to be
you up.
shy about eating here, Alice.
I think we should get back on topic. 'Cause
So, Mister's got a nice ass in some, like, pants, and I'm not wearing any, so we have two ends of that spectrum.
I'm not wearing any either. I'm wearing my sweatshirt, and that's all.
I'm wearing a skirt and dolphin shorts.
Oh.
Shorts made out of
I'm just
dolphin.
wearing pants.
No, dolphin shorts are the shorts you think of when you think of booty shorts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are those the ones that
Why
I
is it
sent
so
you the
bad?
company for, or no?
Not yet. I've been workshopping some logos that I might want to get printed.
Okay.
My working logo for the Facebook page is Slut Kindly.
So, Amira says that they're pretty much they want to do what we're doing. 'Cause we're going to be in New Jersey, Tampa, Charlotte, Columbia, Asheville, all over the place. A little ASMR for you guys.
Sister, where do
not
I
kinda annoying
buy
at all.
suits like yours, but for small people?
Goodwill. That's where I get all my suits.
Fuck.
Send
The
me
man
your
makes the
sizes.
suit. The
I'll
suit
start
doesn't make the man.
shopping for you.
Okay, just remember that. That's like the best advice I think I've ever received from anybody when I started dressing nicer.
I
The
think
man
I
makes
heard
the
one of
suit.
you guys say that you wanted to see my other onesies, right?
Yes.
But yeah, the man makes the suit. The suit doesn't make the man.
I like that.
That's why I started shopping at Goodwill for my suits and like put it together. As long as you put it together and it looks presentable and looks good, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
if it's
you look
designer
hot
or
like
not.
every time.
Well, thank you.
On that note, if we are going to get back on topic, I will stay. But if not, I don't have much more to contribute in
Oh, yeah.
small talk.
We're gonna wrap this up real quick. I got you while we're watching the princess struggle to get dressed. So next we're gonna have open relationships. Now, open relationships, all polyamorous relationships are open. But no, I get that backwards.
No.
Backwards. Yep.
All open relationships are polyamorous, but not all polyamorous relationships are open.
There you go.
There you go.
What's my butt look
More or less. Now, I disagree with the true or false on this one because it says, does a open relationship require less communication than other forms? I think that's true. I think that open part of it allows you to kind of be on your own and do things. Now, it's not so much a don't ask, don't tell. I mean, she'll talk about what you do and stuff like that, but it's not a, hey, I met this person. Is it okay? Can I do this? The guidelines of.
Can
In
we just
general-
mention?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Can we just mention for a minute with the don't ask, don't tell thing? Please do still get tested and get your partner tested, and please do tell your partner if you go out with somebody because like that shit's dangerous.
And from personal experience, even if you're in a don't ask, don't tell, if you have any kind of ethics about you, you are going to watch me fumble around with this for a second. You're still going to have telltale signs. Back when my ex and I lived together, we weren't together, but we were one of those complicated, stupid situations. We had a deal that we wouldn't sleep with somebody without taking a shower before sleeping sleeping together. And so if we go out for the night and we come home and hop in the shower first thing, especially if we just showered before we went out,
So
it's kind of those are little giveaways and stuff like that. You'll develop those patterns of the don't ask, don't tell will be more verbal than nonverbal. You'll still have things that give away things. Yes, Ray?
So, like, an open relationship would be more discussing what you're doing and not more discussing, less permission. Like,
Yes. I'm going to go out. I may hook up with somebody.
Yeah.
Cool. Have fun. Be safe.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm going to go out. I may meet somebody. And then your partner says, that's cool, get their number. If you kiss, that's fine, but we need to discuss if it goes any farther than that.
Yeah.
Even if you kiss though, you can still like mono.
I mean, yeah, but if we get into the overly cautious side of things, then I don't kiss people without, making sure they're not sick and all that stuff. But
Why do you think I don't fucking like kissing you fools? No,
Because,
I don't want to drink or smoke after you either.
Yeah, I won't smoke with somebody that I wouldn't be willing to swap spit with.
Yep. Nope. Right. If I ain't willing to lick it, you ain't sticking it.
Let's see. What am I? Here we go. True or false? In an open relationship, partners are expected to be emotionally exclusive with each other.
False.
We're going with false?
Yeah.
Very good. That was easy. Now, I will say, I do have to clear up. We misgave definitions last week because we left out a whole type of polyamory. We ended up getting solo polyamory and monopoly mixed up when we were talking about it. So
Speaking of mono,
monopoly, and yes, it looks like Monopoly, but it's not a game.
Oh, good God, I hope it's not like Monopoly or that relationship will end just as fast as it begun.
So the partner that I had recently, it was a monopoly relationship. I was polyamorous. She was not in any way, any shape or form. And
big good
that's
difference.
what means a relationship dynamic where one person identifies as a monogamous person and the other person identifies as polyamorous or non-monogamous in some way.
The box says it. It says it.
Yeah, that's how it's spelled, monopoly.
We're never not playing Monopoly again.
It's going to be called monopoly anytime we want to play now, huh?
You know what? It's the first time I realized Monopoly wasn't spelled with a... Never mind.
Wait, was it spelled with a what?
No.
Oh, no, you got to finish it now.
You're just gonna hang us out to dry like that?
Come on now.
She said
Oh,
Monopoly was spelled with a U.
no.
Yes.
Even worse. A T. I thought there was a T in there.
There's a T.
The Monopoly.
Anyways. I made a panda onesie. I'll have you guys know. I'm allowed to act like a fool.
My chicken just jumped out of my mouth.
Love you guys.
Like, legitimately, I was chewing and it just left. I guess I still wanted to live. I don't know. I will say, I don't know how many of you guys have experienced a relationship like this, but with a monopoly relationship, it was very difficult. It wasn't lack of communication or anything like that. It's maintaining, or teaching someone as a polyamorous person, I can respect their wishes to be monogamous, but that's not going to change who I am. And those expectations of spending multiple days together and spending time together, I still have another relationship to balance. I still have a life to balance. And ultimately, it's through no fault of our own, honestly. We just decided it would probably be best we weren't together because, I didn't have the time. She was working 3 jobs, so the time she had was taken 2. So, it was just that challenge of scheduling and time together. Wonderful girl, like absolutely fantastic. But, just one of those things. We're just two different lifestyles. And that's usually, if a relationship ends on good terms, it's because of that reason. You realize you're 2 different people, or things like that. So those are the things you have to keep in mind of as a relationship grows, is to keep frequent check-ins. And oh wait, I better pull the wrong one up. The other is solo polyamory. It's a little bit different than Rudolph there. Are those hooves? You have hooves. What are those hooves?
Oh my God. Good Lord.
So solo polyamory is a step away from relationship anarchy. When a person has multiple romantic relationships but doesn't want to necessarily live with or have a primary partner. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's funny, like last week we didn't talk about the monopoly relationship at all, but it's stupid because like that's something I've done. So how did I forget that? Let's see. And finally, we have relationship anarchy. Alice, I'll let you take the definition there, and I'll see if I get it right.
So, relationship anarchy, the relationships are formed between individuals without much consideration to other structures or like other relationships they may have outside of that specific relationship. So, like, you can have you can be a person who's interested in sex but have an asexual relationship. You can be a person who's interested in romance but have an aromantic relationship, and that doesn't necessarily mean that your next relationship has to follow the same rules. So it gives you a lot of freedom to build them uniquely to the individual, regardless of what they might look like on the outside.
Very nice. This was my summary. This is when people prioritize personal autonomy and relationships are formed based on the individual needs and desires rather than societal expectations. Pretty close.
Close enough that I'd agree with your definition too.
What?
Basically, you love who you love, and you love them in the way that is best for both of you, and fuck the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the rules. Every time.
And that's what I like about, like I said, that smorgasbord thing I pulled up earlier. That's what it was made for. Is for you to lay out how your relationships are structured with certain people. You know, ideally, you sit down with each person that you have a connection with, whether it's friends, family, colleagues at work, relationships, sexual relationships, friends with benefits, acquaintances that you see at a party. You know, fucking keep one of these in your back pocket all the time. Yeah. Ideally, in an ideal world, but you know, we really can't do that. But let me see if I can make it a little bigger there. No, not really. Okay. But check it out. I did send all these to you guys privately in the chat on Facebook. I am going to upload these things as well for anybody that may have missed it. And she is a very, very cute Grinch. Very cute Grinch.
I'm not a Grinch anymore. I don't know what I am.
Oh, are you the?
Sloth.
Are you the?
Yep.
What was that from?
Zootopia.
You're a sloth. Thank you.
What's my butt look like?
Fluffy.
There's no tail or nothing. What am I?
A sloth.
A sloth.
Why do I have a shirt on?
Because you're the sloth from Zootopia.
I guess I need to watch that.
Oh my God.
Isn't his name
Yes.
like Speedy or something like that?
Flash.
Flash.
Oh,
Flash
hold on.
Slothmore is his
Oh.
name.
You guys ready for my favorite joke from that whole movie, though? What do you call a three-humped camel? Pregnant.
Oh my god.
In a kids movie.
Did you guys see that everybody is like lusting over that one tiger that was on the train there for like 10 seconds a time? They're like, oh my god, that buff tiger, he looks like he goes home to his mom and kisses his mom at night. He would treat me well.
In Zootopia?
Dream.
Are you talking about the
That's not what
leopard
that
that runs the police department? He's such a nice guy.
No, not
No,
not
there's
that
like
one.
there's like a scene, I think it's on a train, where you just see this really buff tiger and people are thirsting over him. And when they
It's like
say
10 seconds.
I think he'll treat me right, they're not talking about it like romantically.
Primally.
They're talking sex, Dream.
Oh.
Oh, we
my
love you,
goodness.
Amira. And you, my dear, we need to get you up on here to talk about some things with us soon. I would love for maybe March. If you guys want to talk more like, I don't know how well it would go over on the social media platforms, but the adult content creation, like we did last year, more or less the safety, the guidelines, how to keep yourself content in life and not so much how to, take pictures of your butthole.
But-
I feel like we should start doing tutorials at some point.
On how to take pictures of your butthole.
Oh yeah, totally.
if we are going to use that as a month-long topic, I think it would be important to do one of the weeks focused primarily on mental health.
Hmm.
Yeah, that.
Absolutely.
There's
So,
not
we
nearly
might-
enough information about the correlation with mental health and
Hmm.
adult work.
Oh no,
Period,
it's
yeah.
terrible. It's completely awful if us is anything to go by.
It's the mental health that comes with it, not that is built before it.
Right. Well, and even the correlation between the frequency of mental health issues prior to doing this line of work. Does it correlate? How does it correlate?
Oh, you took my distraction away.
I think your distraction doesn't have any underwear on.
Oh boy.
I think
Yeah,
I
that
caught
was
a
the
quick
point.
glimpse of that.
We're just skirting all the issues today, apparently.
There you go. But so now, as a relationship anarchist, outside of romantic relationships, that's essentially what most people have with their friendships, right?
Kind of. So, like, for me, a relationship, be it platonic or romantic or whatever, like, there are different levels of, like, you could have a platonic relationship, you could have a romantic, a sexual, there could be kink involved, there can be sometimes like a financial entanglement, but it's just a platonic relationship. It's kind of going back to that smorgasbord, which is a really good example. It's the types of connection that you choose with each person. So like you could have a friend say like you two just rent a house together because rent's ridiculously expensive, and still just be friends and not have like an implicated like maybe romantic relationship later on. I mentioned earlier you could have a romantic relationship with someone who's interested in sex but not have a sexual relationship with that person. Like it's really just anything that you need or want in that relationship, you communicate with the other person and you have it at the level that you both want or are comfortable with.
Okay. Makes a lot more sense there. So I can dig it. True or false? Quads are less complex than triads.
False. True. It's both. It depends on the fucking dynamic, bitch.
Yes. That is a flawed question, mister.
I know. There's reasons these things are stupid.
The answer to your question is yes. It is true or false.
Yes.
Damn it, there's more tags on here.
If we're going to get oversimplifying things, it is more complex because there are simply more moving pieces.
But as long as the whole machine knows its function together, it can run smoother and be less complex. So the answer is still yes.
Mister,
Yes.
you're gonna get that look from me too, mister.
Why are we on designer relationships?
No, I'm just hopping around now. I had a couple true falses left. Designer relationships always involve a combination of different types of polyamorous relationships. True or false?
False.
False.
True.
No. False. Because in a designer relationship, there is no always.
But it would be a different type.
It's a square rectangle thing again, mister.
And this is just like totally reiterating the fact of how complicated but easy it is. How much of a contradiction we fucking are to society.
Well, I think the thing with that is it makes more sense to people that it appeals to, because if it's just a part of how you function, it's not going to be difficult for you, but to somebody that isn't who they are, it's like telling a pagan they're going to hell. It makes no fucking sense.
True or false?
God.
So mono or poly relationship is always open, meaning everyone is allowed to have other partners.
No, because that would be a false, because the mono and poly is mono. One is choosing to be monogamous. So, I mean, they're allowed to by all fucking means, but they're choosing monogamy. So that's a fucked up question, mister.
Mister, I think for the next round of true false questions, you should probably send them to us so we can vet them before.
What I like about these, and you guys that might be missing the whole thing, is that most of these are false, because most of them come down to this answer. It depends on the dynamic, what works best for you. There are no less communication in any type of forms of polyamory, because it all requires full communication to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about the rest of the chat or the rest of the panel here, but I don't do subtext very well, mister. Blame it on the
I know.
tism.
So how about for future, when you do those bullshit true or false things, instead of making it true or false, just make it like a statement or a question or a trivia thing, not a fucking true or false.
But then you guys wouldn't get all like about it.
We're getting about it because all of them are wrong.
But it is. I can see Mister's perspective. It's good. It's a good way to start the conversation and tell Mister that he's wrong. I think he has a kink.
Then let's talk about it and get consent before we engage in it.
Yeah, you can't make people do your kinks without telling them they're doing your kinks, sir.
We talked about that earlier. So you know these big jacked up truck motherfuckers with the 2-inch dicks? I'm like 90% sure that 90% of those people have a degradation kink, and no people are talking about their penis size.
If that were true from the people I've met like that.
I mean, that's a fair statement, because everybody knows if you go out and you willfully buy a big jacked up truck.
All right, Mr.
We are not talking about everybody, okay?
No,
Some massive cocks buy massive trucks.
You're right. Some of it's not compensation, but that's the running joke.
And it's kind of a shitty joke because it's body shaming.
It is.
Hold up, no.
He's like, fuck.
It would be the same thing as if you...
Nope. We'll do that sideline later. I'm putting my feet down.
Oh, shit.
On the topic.
All right.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you. I need to buy me a big jacked up truck.
Okay, mister, it is really hard for me to stand up to you, and I'm doing it twice in one live now. Topic, please.
So polyamorous relationships work differently for different people. As monogamous relationships do, as any relationship on any spectrum and any style, you have to do what works best for you. All these quote unquote definitions, you know, I've said it many, many times, and I'll always say it. There is no right way to do non-monogamy, but there are wrong ways. You know, you want to make sure that you're ethical. You're not cheating. You're staying within the parameters and the boundaries of your relationship and what's going on there. And being fair to your partners.
Communication and consent.
We need one more C. 3 C's sounds better. Communication, consent, and...
Consideration. Consistency.
Compassion.
Compassion,
Gold
consistency,
stars all around.
consideration. And now we have like 7 C's. R.
No, it would be C.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. We didn't fuck off too much. But, we always fuck off a little bit.
Yeah.
Got Ray to snap at me twice. That was nice. Good job. Hell yeah.
Somebody's got to keep us on task, though.
David
I was being
says
inappropriate this
constipation.
evening.
Constipation is a good answer. I know it's not what that says, but
Concupiscence?
I like constipation.
What's that mean? I heard my voice echo on somebody. I'm so sorry.
Concupiscence means a strong sexual desire or lust.
But what if you are asexual? Then your relationship couldn't have that.
True.
A good answer for most like sexual relationships for sure.
You know what? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But as a
I would
You can
universal
add that to your
law,
smorgasbord. I don't think that you gave due credit to where we found all these resources from and terms.
Google was a good place.
No. You picked.
So I have no idea. So I did say that I got this from, or I heard about this from Polyamory. So it says organized by Lyrica Lawrence and Heather Orr of Vancouver Polyamory in 2016. So that's that. We didn't talk about this whole thing. So if you guys can see this is like how a 2-axis form of relationships would be. A decent basic summary. So if you look at the top, you've got high sexual exclusivity, which monogamy and asexual are at the peak. I don't like that it says asexual and polyamorous. Okay, they go together. It's not supposed to be 2 separate things. Then over here on the left, you've got high emotional exclusivity, and if you go all the way to the left and all the way up, you're going to find monogamy. If you go all the way to the low emotional exclusivity and the high sexual exclusivity, that's where you find that ace on the spectrum. Yeah. Kind of didn't seem right there for a second. That's where that belongs, but I guess it does. If you're ace and poly, your relationships are obviously highly sexual exclusive because you're either not having sex, but the emotional side of it is where you get into multiple partners sharing those responses and those feelings and those types of relationship. Then down the bottom end of it, you've got the high emotional exclusivity and the low sexual exclusivity, which would be swinging, which is where it's not so much your emotional attachment is to your partner that you're with, not the partners you're playing with. Because as soon as you start attaching emotions to that, you creep back across the axis. Which relationship anarchy is like off the grid. I do love that. Like the line is right there, and nope, relationship anarchy is just somewhere else.
And like, I'm pretty sure it's the only one that's outside of the border.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, in this setup, though, shouldn't it be like right dead in the middle of 0 because it can go any different way?
No,
because
it doesn't have to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like it's very like extremely low exclusivity on both because you can choose whether or not to let it happen.
Right. So this is this cute little thing I found. I've seen it many, many times. So basically, you guys can't really see it that well. It says in the top, the bigger panel, it says, "I'm feeling love for Alex and Kim." So idealized monoamory, but only one of them can be real love. So I've decided that Alex, and I'll forget about Kim. There's cheating. There's don't ask, don't tell. My partner allowed me to have affairs, but we don't talk about them with who it is or what I do. There's open relationship. It says my partner Alex knows that I'm having an affair with Kim, and Alex prefers to have one night stands occasionally. Polygamy is I am married to both of them. Oh, you know what? I just figured out. My bad, guys. I just totally goofed. Let's do this. Looky there. Isn't it cute? So it kind of goes into the breakdown of what each type of relationship could be. And it genuinely puts it in that, which one are you all in?
Look, they're all holding their hands.
Here you go, see? And I do like the way it's structured is it does kind of go from the most exclusive to the least exclusive. So that's a cute little thing to have too. I don't know. I've had fun with you guys. I know Ray has important things to handle tomorrow. Jen has been up since like 3:30 this morning.
Rock on, man.
I want to chime in just real quick on that comic. The relationship anarchy one, the person in the middle kind of had puppy energy with all the hearts floating around.
Right.
Calling back to being called a puppy myself earlier in the stream.
When we call you a puppy, we just said, you know, the energy
Like a
all the
puppy.
time is like a puppy. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you for coming.
Happy
We'll get in touch with
munch.
some more people. Jason, we'll get with you to get you up here next week. What did we say next week was? The vanilla, the kink spectrum.
And if anybody is interested in joining us, as always, let us know. We'll get you up here.
So that's going to lead us into the February topic of BDSM and kink. So we're going to roll with that. But love you guys. Thank you for being here. And as always, we'll see you next week. Bye.